Book summary: Trading in the Zone, Master the Market with Confidence, Discipline, and a Winning Attitude by Mark Douglas. Trading in the Zone is a deep dive into the psychological aspects of stock trading. It presents a view into a trader's mind, identifying how fear and overconfidence often lead to financial downfall. It also offers a practical framework to manage risk, navigate uncertainties, and develop a winning mindset, enabling anyone to overcome emotional barriers and make more consistent and profitable trades. Mark Douglas is president of Trading Behavior Dynamics. He has developed programs and coached all levels of traders on how to achieve and sustain a successful trader's mindset. He is also the co-author of The Complete Trader and the Little Book of Trading Performance. Mark Douglas compares a great trader to a world-class athlete. Both have honed their skills, reflexes, instincts, and wills to a fine edge. Both have reached the point at which a winning performance is an automatic, utterly unconscious process. That's when they are operating in the zone. To reach the zone, Douglas contends, traders must impose mental self-discipline and adhere to a consistently strict system. Would-be investors and tyro traders will value this enlightening text for its underlying message that great traders are made, not born. Summary: Trading in the Zone, Master the Market with Confidence, Discipline, and a Winning Attitude by Mark Douglas. Key takeaways. 1. Trading skills can be learned or acquired. 2. That so few traders are consistently successful is due to their mistaken perceptions of what it means to be a trader. 3. The market operates in ways that can appear counterintuitive. For the market is neither good nor bad, and neither right nor wrong, it just is. 5. If you see trading as a personal challenge and success as personal validation, you are doomed to inconsistency. 6. Taking responsibility is the core attitude of all good traders. 7. Successful traders embrace the uncertainty of the market. 8. They maintain faith in trends. 9. Profitable traders think in terms of probabilities, not results. 10. The best traders are not afraid or reckless. They have confidence in their systems. Use psychology to turn the stock market's uncertainty into your own financial triumph. Have you ever witnessed the breathtakingly different fates of stock traders? Some rise high, touching the zenith of success, while others flounder, lost in the tumultuous sea of uncertainty. Is it luck? Timing? What makes one a better trader than the other? Well, the secret to this enigma isn't a high IQ or a prodigious understanding of markets. It lies much deeper, within the mysterious labyrinth of the human psyche. It's a journey that's less about external strategies and more about conquering inner demons like fear, overconfidence, and irrational decision-making. In this blink, you'll witness the essence of a victorious mindset through an invigorating exploration into the psychology of a master trader. Be prepared to unlearn and relearn, to challenge and change. It's a psychological boot camp, uncomfortable, testing, but ultimately transformative. Remember, it's not about instant riches, you want to win the long race. So gear up for an introspective adventure that could redefine your financial future for years to come. The paradoxical psychology of effortless trading success. Picture the cacophony of an old Wall Street trading floor, traders huddled over telephones, poring over economic indicators to predict an ideal price for a stock. This was the era of fundamental analysis. But underneath this hubbub, a quiet revolution was on the horizon: technical analysis. This groundbreaking approach disregarded economic indicators, focusing instead on price trends and trading volume over time. In its infancy during the late 1970s, technical analysis was seen as an eccentric mysticism. But as traders realized market dynamics were driven more by collective psychology than textbook formulas, it slowly began to gain acceptance. Aside from a mastery of charts and understanding economic indicators, successful technical analysis was deeply rooted in principles of psychology. Top traders cultivated a flexible mindset, responding with discipline and confidence amid uncertainty. Their secret? Embracing risk, a concept most of us are wired to avoid. In the paradoxical world of trading, risk aversion can actually amplify errors. Each trade is inherently uncertain, rejecting this reality leads to a contentious relationship with the market, compromising objectivity and escalating losses. Accepting risk aligns you with the realities of the market, a space that, in its neutrality, owes you nothing. All outcomes are possible. And the more you accept this reality, the more insight you gain. Access to this flow state of trading is granted when you relinquish hopes of control and just embrace the market as it is. Within the market's evolving opportunities, winning traders interpret risk as pure potential. Unfettered by fear, they focus clearly on each trading moment. Their mental agility allows them to adapt to the market's rhythm, steering clear of any recurrent mistakes that rigid thinking produces. In other words, achieving consistency in trading demands a transformation in attitude, and a willingness to venture into the unknown. Mastering this psychological game can transform trading from a chaotic battlefield to a serene river of opportunity. Traders transition into a state of flow, where they process information cleanly and guide precise responses. In turn, their confidence blossoms, which fosters both financial and personal growth. This psychological mastery is the key to unlocking the door to the effortless success that traders envision at the onset of their trading journey. And this mental game is where the magic happens, the zone where trading isn't just a profession, but a path to personal growth. A journey towards self-mastery and personal growth. Think of the appeal of trading, unlimited creative freedom where you're your own boss, setting your own rules. This allure often attracts individuals seeking an outlet for self-expression, a need often stifled by conventional societal and employment structures. But achieving consistency in this landscape of infinite possibility doesn't mean you can disregard all rules or safeguards. Left unchecked, freedom in trading can be a double-edged sword. With no enforced risk limits or predefined trade durations, the potential for self-destruction always lurks around the corner. So as ironic as it sounds, traders must establish self-imposed mental guardrails to achieve lasting success. After years of yearning for liberation from rules and restrictions, you might reflexively resist these self-imposed disciplines, viewing them as threats to your newfound liberty. But if you don't adhere to a strategy, your trading results will become unpredictable. Losses can conveniently be attributed to bad luck rather than personal mistakes. The good news is, patterns do exist in the markets, and it's possible to pave the way toward consistency. The bad news is, putting this into practice isn't easy. As humans, we have a biological addiction to surprise rewards. Random wins in trading provide a rush of excitement, releasing a cocktail of chemicals in our brain that fuel gambling habits. The solution lies in self-mastery. By managing your perceptions and exercising discipline, you can reshape the market from a capricious foe into a reflective canvas for personal growth. Through aligned mental frameworks, you'll learn to act out of choice, not instinct, and expand your vision beyond immediate gratification. When treated as an internal work in progress, trading becomes a journey towards self-actualization. Your relationship with reward and risk undergoes a profound transformation. Instead of mindlessly chasing the fleeting thrill of random wins, you channel improbable hopes into positive expectations through a structured approach. And in the process, fear and anxiety dissolve and are replaced by a reliable bedrock of confidence and self-compassion. Embracing responsibility for sustainable success. Here's the trader's paradox: success demands mastering internal skills more than acquiring market knowledge. The cornerstone of trading success lies in accepting full responsibility for all outcomes, whether they're profitable or not. This radical self-accountability aligns you with market realities. Trading failures are often externalized, with the market bearing the brunt of the blame. This absolves the trader from responsibility, but it also obstructs learning pathways. And expecting the market to yield desired results only stirs disappointment when hopes go awry. Remember, the market simply reflects the collective actions of traders. It doesn't have a hidden agenda, and it isn't an adversary to be conquered. It's a mirror that faithfully reflects our subjective beliefs and behaviors in its price movements. Trading errors stem from within us, not from the market. It's obvious, then, that random trading strategies yield random results. Attaining sustainable success requires the scaffolding of structure, planning, and a commitment to self-accountability. Instituting money management and risk rules are critical because they create guardrails that dispel the illusion of easy wealth. This shift in perspective transforms setbacks from punitive experiences into instructive lessons. Each trade, irrespective of its outcome, illuminates the path to improvement. Confidence swells as traders transition from reacting to market events to proactively creating outcomes. And responsibility morphs from a source of fear to a wellspring of empowerment. With this inward focus and alignment with market realities, progress will unfold. You'll begin to harness the market's energy, propelling yourself towards sustainable growth, and validating the adage that the best conquest is to master yourself. The power of probabilistic thinking. Uncertain events tend to yield consistent results over time, a concept that tends to baffle many traders. Just look at casinos, an excellent example of a business thriving on randomness. By cleverly structuring their games, they gain a slight edge. But then they let the laws of probability work their magic through sheer volume of plays. This structure allows their expectations to coexist peacefully with randomness, so they're unfazed by individual wins or losses. The markets operate in a similar vein. Individual trades are independent events with random outcomes. But given a large enough number of trades, a well-defined trading edge will triumph over the randomness. This is why trading pros operate on dual-level thinking. They embrace the uncertainty of the moment while harboring the belief that their trading edge will ultimately yield positive results. Most traders grapple with this inherent randomness because humans are wired with a deep-seated craving for certainty. This gives rise to the illusion that they can predict specific market events. But as we've learned, imposing rigid expectations onto an uncertain market reality inevitably leads to disappointment. Fear then begins to skew perceptions when trades fail to align with hopeful outcomes. On the bright side, the market holds unlimited potential for wealth. It's just your internal barriers that may prevent you from realizing these possibilities. The key is to upgrade your mental programming to match the external opportunities with your inner readiness. By genuinely accepting market randomness and adopting a probabilistic perspective, you can begin to engage the unknown with a sense of confidence and tranquility. This is the mindset that'll align expectations with reality, and ultimately lead to consistent success in trading. Fundamental versus technical analysis. As recently as the late 1970s, fundamental analysis was by far the dominant orthodoxy among professional traders. Fundamental analysis is about creating mathematical models that incorporate all the variables that might affect the supply-demand equation of any particular stock, commodity, or financial instrument. 95% of the trading errors you are likely to make, causing the money to just evaporate before your eyes, will stem from your attitudes about being wrong, losing money, missing out, and leaving money on the table. Technical analysis, which has always existed in one form or another, has come to dominate the thinking of professional traders for a good reason. Technical analysts make more money. Technical analysis is all about patterns and the ways traders interact with the market. Certain behavioral patterns are observable, quantifiable, and predictable, therefore, they can be profitably exploited. Mental analysis. Within the framework of technical analysis is the realm of personal analysis. After all, if technical analysis were the ultimate solution, you'd expect to see everyone who uses it getting rich, but in fact the opposite is more nearly true. Traders, in general, lose. That's a fact of the market. For every dollar made, a dollar is lost somewhere else. Every buyer is buying from a seller. When one trader scores big, many others have lost to fuel that profit. The difference between winners and losers, when all is said and done, is attitude. If you have ever found yourself blaming the market or feeling betrayed by it, then you have not given enough consideration to the implications of what it means to play a zero-sum game. A properly grounded trader is one who embraces the uncertainty of the market and is not thrown for a loop if a trade fails to show a profit. The trader moves on to the next trade without a backward glance. But average traders are motivated by the wrong things. They have a competitive mindset, a me versus the market attitude. They use their trading for personal validation and have an emotional stake in being right. The end result? They hold on to losing trades in the hope those trades will turn around, and they prematurely cash in winners to realize the attendant profits. The effect of all this is to lose more and win less. Discipline and focus. Discipline and focus are the keys to success. The defining characteristic of consistent winners is their mindset. They are able to remain confident when faced with adverse conditions because they have the discipline to focus on the big picture. Consequently, they are essentially unsusceptible to the common fears that bedevil the vast majority of traders and, accordingly, do not fall prey to the trading errors that can plague the average investor. Although few would admit it, the truth is that the typical trader wants to be right on every single trade. He is desperately trying to create certainty where it just doesn't exist. Emotional pain and financial disaster are all too common among traders. Market trading is, by its very nature, fraught with paradoxes. Perspectives, principles and attitudes that work well for people in everyday life are strikingly counterproductive when applied to trading activities. For example, trading is inherently risky. Since no trade has a guaranteed outcome, there is always a possibility of being wrong and losing money when any given trade is initiated. You will need to learn how to adjust your attitudes and beliefs about trading in such a way that you can trade without the slightest bit of fear, but at the same time keep a framework in place that does not allow you to become reckless. Does this mean that when you trade you can consider yourself a risk taker? Obviously, the answer is yes, right? Wrong. This is one of the fundamental paradoxes of trading, the belief that taking risks classifies you as a risk taker. Nothing could be further from the truth. To be a risk taker means accepting the consequences of risk. It means being able to exit a losing proposition with no emotional pain whatsoever and fully accepting that a certain percentage of all your trades will not show the desired outcome. Acceptance of risk is the most important skill a trader can learn. Transcending fear. The critical difference between consistent winners and everyone else is this: the best traders aren't afraid. They have adopted and honed an attitude that gives them terrific mental flexibility. They are able, at the same time, to listen to what the market is telling them and to move in and out of trades fluidly while still not succumbing to recklessness. They have no emotional stake in the outcome of any particular trade. Their single concern is the condition of the balance sheet at the end of the day. Even though you cannot will yourself into a zone, you can set up the kind of mental conditions that are most conducive to experiencing the zone by developing a positive winning attitude. By contrast, the average trader lives between the extremes of recklessness and fear. When things are going well, such traders throw caution to the wind, believing themselves invincible. When the inevitable significant loss occurs, this invincibility is shattered, and it is replaced by fear. In other words, they have created the kind of experience for themselves that breeds and reinforces fear. You cannot expect the collective actions of everyone participating in the market to make the market act in a way that gives you what you want. You have to learn for yourself how to get what you want out of the markets. The four primary fears of traders are being wrong, losing money, missing out and leaving money on the table. These fears often dominate or override everything else. You can't see situations or opportunities accurately, you can't act on them objectively, and you find yourself immobilized. The source of these fears is not the market itself, it is your attitude toward the market or toward life itself. This is extremely difficult for most people to perceive. The best traders have evolved to the point where they believe without a shred of doubt or internal conflict that anything can happen. Consider the example of a child bitten at a young age by a dog. This child has grown up into an adult with a pronounced fear of dogs. While the dread is understandable, it is not universally valid. The child was bitten by a dog, not all dogs. And this fear is keeping at bay a whole slew of alternative realities that include the possibility of a dog as a positive force. At the same time, it is highly likely that no dog will ever again bite this individual, so the fear is counterproductive and debilitating. Traders who have experienced being tapped into the collective consciousness of the market can anticipate a change in direction just as a bird in the middle of a flock or a fish in the middle of a school will turn at the precise moment that all the others turn. It's like that with the market: once bitten, twice shy may be a hoary old cliché, but it doesn't help one bit if performance in the arena in which the bite occurred is essential to the bitten individual. Addiction to random rewards. Several studies have shown clearly the psychological effect of random rewards on monkeys. As expected, if you consistently reward a monkey for accomplishing a certain task, it will repeat the task often in order to receive the reward. Also, as expected, if you stop giving the reward, the monkey will stop performing the task. Self-discipline is a technique to create a new mental framework. It is not a personality trait. People aren't born with self-discipline. However, a fascinating sidelight to this is the reaction of the monkey to random rewards. If the successful completion of the given task may or may not result in a reward, the monkey will continue performing the task in the hopes of receiving the reward. This is strange but critically important behavior. Once the possibility of reward has been established, the tendency is to go on performing the task repeatedly in the hopes that that rush of pleasure will materialize again. This amounts to an addiction to random rewards, and it is closely akin to the gambling impulse. You see it over and over again in market traders, and it is a sure path to financial disaster. Taking responsibility. The words are simple: take responsibility. The concept is anything but simple, however, especially in the context of trading activities. It is similar to creating a new version of yourself by reshaping your mental environment. Successful traders eliminate both fear and recklessness from their trading. The other part of the equation is the need to develop restraint, to acquire the ability to focus your attention consistently and unrelentingly on productive actions and behaviors. Traders operate within the market, they are a part of it. The market itself is neither good nor bad, it is simply the sum total of the inputs, trades, that define it. Consistency cannot be found in the market itself, the consistency you must seek is in your mind. You must accept that all results, good or bad, come from your interactions with the market, not from actions of the market itself. In this sense, attitudes produce better overall results than either analysis or technique. Ideally, you have both, but without the correct attitude you cannot be consistently successful. The market is basically a group of people interacting with each other to extract money from one another. It's a zero-sum game. In that context, does the market have a responsibility to the individual trader? Of course not, the market just is. Accordingly, if you have ever suffered a trading loss and blamed the market, if you have ever felt betrayed by the market, you are not thinking things through, you are not reacting correctly to your loss, and you are not properly playing the game. Taking responsibility means just that, you are completely responsible for your success or failure as a trader. The market generates information about itself, but all the results of your trades derive from decisions you have made based on the information you have gleaned. To whatever extent you react personally to the market, it was a great trade, but the market screwed me over, you have doomed yourself to failure as a trader. The market is an endless stream of opportunities. Some will pan out, others will not. Profitable traders understand the ebbs and flows of the market. They give themselves license to get into the flow, and they begin trading in the zone. By contrast, unsuccessful traders are less concerned with winning than they are with avoiding pain. Since losses are always painful to them, they soon enough find themselves trapped in an approach to the market that cannot succeed. The more that traders fixate on winning, not losing, on any given trade, the less tolerance they will have for any information that seems to indicate that they will not get what they want from this trade, and down that road lies catastrophe. All successful traders implicitly understand that trading is all about probabilities, not individual outcomes. They set a mental framework that recognizes 5 fundamental truths. 1. Anything can happen. 2. You don't need to know what is going to happen next to make money. 3. There is a random distribution between wins and losses for any given set of variables that define an edge. 4. An edge is nothing more than an indication of a higher probability of one thing happening over another. 5. Every moment in the market is unique. Good traders commit themselves to making every trade that conforms to their definition of an edge. They never attempt to predict specific outcomes, they think in terms of the big picture. Accomplished traders have eliminated from their universe the potential threat of unrealized expectations. They have no expectations of any individual trade but instead a belief in the big picture. Thinking like a trader. At its simplest level, trading can be described as a numbers game, a game of pattern recognition. Market analysis helps identify patterns, define risk, and determine when to take profits. In the end, the trade works or it doesn't work. Either way, you move on to the next trade and the next, never dwelling on past failures or becoming emboldened by a streak of successes. The more you think you know, the less successful you'll be. Skilled traders don't need to know anything, they just properly manage their expectations. At the mechanical level, you can accomplish this by trusting yourself to operate in an unlimited environment, learning to flawlessly execute a trading system, training yourself to think in terms of probabilities, and nurturing an unshakable belief in your own consistency as a trader. To even start this process, you have to want consistency so much that you would be willing to give up all the other reasons, motivations, or agendas you have for trading that aren't consistent with the process of integrating the beliefs that create consistency. From the mechanical level, you can move on to the subjective stage of trading, in which you begin to apply whatever you have learned about the market, always maintaining your sense of absolute responsibility for your own decisions and results. Finally, you can advance to the intuitive stage, the trading equivalent of a black belt, in which the rational part of your mind sits back and lets the intuition of experience take over to guide your trades. And this is where it's at for the best traders, who, with little conscious thought but with anticipation and reaction working seamlessly, steer a probability-driven system to positive results. Conclusion and review. I have read the book, Trading in the Zone, Master the Market with Confidence, Discipline, and a Winning Attitude, by Mark Douglas, and here is my summary and review. The book is a guide for traders who want to achieve consistent success in the financial markets. The author, Mark Douglas, is a trading coach and a former trader himself. He argues that the main obstacle for traders is not the market itself, but their own psychology. He explains how traders often sabotage their own performance by having unrealistic expectations, emotional reactions, and faulty beliefs about the market. He also provides practical strategies and exercises to help traders overcome these mental barriers and develop a winning attitude. The book consists of 11 chapters, each focusing on a different aspect of trading psychology. The main points of each chapter are: Chapter 1, Fundamental, Technical, or Mental Analysis. The author introduces the concept of trading in the zone, which is a state of mind where traders are confident, focused, and objective. He claims that trading in the zone is more important than any technical or fundamental analysis, because it allows traders to act in accordance with the market reality, rather than their own biases or fears. Chapter 2, The Lure and the Dangers of Trading. The author explains why trading is so appealing and addictive, but also so risky and stressful. He identifies the 4 main sources of trading stress: the need to be right, the fear of losing, the fear of missing out, and the fear of leaving money on the table. He also warns against the common traps of overconfidence, greed, and revenge trading. Chapter 3, Taking Responsibility. The author emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for one's own trading results, rather than blaming external factors or events. He argues that traders need to accept the risk of trading, which means accepting the possibility of any outcome, without attaching any meaning or emotion to it. He also advises traders to define their edge, which is a set of objective criteria that gives them a statistical advantage over other traders. Chapter 4, Consistency, a State of Mind. The author defines consistency as the ability to execute one's trading plan without hesitation or deviation, regardless of the market conditions or outcomes. He explains how consistency depends on one's mental state, which can be influenced by various factors such as mood, stress, fatigue, boredom, etc. He suggests some ways to maintain a consistent state of mind, such as having a routine, keeping a journal, meditating, etc. Chapter 5, The Dynamics of Perception. The author explores how perception affects trading performance. He claims that perception is not a passive process of receiving information from the environment, but an active process of creating meaning from one's own beliefs and expectations. He illustrates how different traders can perceive the same market situation differently, depending on their beliefs about themselves, the market, and their edge. He also explains how perception can change over time, due to feedback loops and self-fulfilling prophecies. Chapter 6: The Market's Perspective. The author challenges some common myths and misconceptions about the market, such as, the market is rational, predictable, fair, or personal. He argues that the market is none of these things, but rather a collective expression of all the traders' beliefs and actions at any given moment. He urges traders to adopt a market perspective, which means seeing the market as it is, not as they want it to be. He also advises traders to respect the market's power and unpredictability, and to avoid fighting or imposing their will on it. Chapter 7: Thinking in Probabilities. The author introduces one of the key concepts of trading in the zone, thinking in probabilities. He explains that thinking in probabilities means accepting that each trade is just one of many possible outcomes, and that no single trade can determine one's success or failure as a trader. He also explains that thinking in probabilities means having a probabilistic mindset, which means being flexible, adaptable, and open-minded about the market's behavior. He warns against having a deterministic mindset, which means being rigid, fixed, and closed-minded about the market's behavior. Chapter 8: Working with Your Beliefs. The author discusses how beliefs affect trading performance. He defines beliefs as mental constructs that shape one's perception and behavior. He claims that beliefs are not inherently true or false, but rather useful or limiting for one's trading goals. He suggests some ways to identify and change one's limiting beliefs, such as challenging them with evidence, replacing them with more empowering ones, and reinforcing them with positive affirmations. Chapter 9: The Nature of Beliefs. The author delves deeper into the nature and origin of beliefs. He explains how beliefs are formed through various sources, such as personal experience, social influence, authority figures, etc. He also explains how beliefs are maintained through various mechanisms, such as selective perception, confirmation bias, cognitive dissonance, etc. He warns against the dangers of having conflicting or contradictory beliefs, which can cause confusion, doubt, and anxiety. Chapter 10: The Impact of Beliefs on Trading. The author illustrates how beliefs can impact trading performance in various ways, such as influencing one's expectations, emotions, and actions, creating self-fulfilling prophecies, affecting one's risk tolerance and money management, and shaping one's trading style and personality. He also provides some examples of common trading beliefs, and how they can be useful or limiting for different traders. Chapter 11: Thinking Like a Trader. The author summarizes the main points of the book, and provides some final tips and advice for traders who want to achieve trading in the zone. He emphasizes the importance of developing a trader's mindset, which means having a clear vision, a strong commitment, a realistic attitude, and a high level of self-awareness. He also encourages traders to keep learning, practicing, and improving their skills and knowledge, and to enjoy the process of trading as a rewarding and fulfilling activity. The book is a valuable resource for traders who want to improve their mental game and achieve consistent success in the financial markets. The author draws from his own experience as a trader and a coach, and provides insightful and practical advice on how to overcome the psychological challenges and pitfalls of trading. The book is well written, engaging, and easy to understand. The author uses clear examples, analogies, and stories to illustrate his points. The book is also well structured, with each chapter building on the previous one, and ending with a summary and some exercises for the reader to apply the concepts. The book is not a technical or fundamental guide on how to trade, but rather a guide on how to think and act like a successful trader. The book is suitable for traders of any level, market, or instrument, as the principles and concepts are universal and applicable to any trading situation. The book is highly recommended for anyone who wants to master the market with confidence, discipline, and a winning attitude. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like and share. See you in next videos.